told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to.
We are human, and I've learned that part of being human is giving a damn about everything, being concerned about everything. Weather changes, time, job, marriage, money, what people think about us, trying to please people all the time. You get angry when a driver crosses you in traffic. You get upset and anxious when the goods you ordered fail to arrive on time. But what if for a moment, and I mean what if, we stop giving a fuck? What if we stop getting bothered about stuff? Well, that's what this book is about. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Now, in the book, the author argues that most often we tend to concern ourselves with too many things. We are entangled in too many concerns, and that is a problem. That is the reason we are unhappy. That is the reason we fail. That is the reason we are lonely. That is the reason we feel inadequate. That is the reason we are poor. The book is sort of designed to help one in choosing and focusing on important things in life, or as the author will say, on the things that are fuck-worthy. He argues that we often don't realize how frequently we concern ourselves with things that don't impact our lives so much. And so the aim of the book is basically to help us spot where we are placing too much importance on stuff that do not really matter, and to start giving a fuck about the most important things. The book is a bestseller, and so I'll urge you to read it. I'll leave a link to my blog in the description where you can download it for free. I should warn you though that it's a little bit vulgar, but well researched. It's not your regular self-help book. If you're struggling to get the most from your life, to reframe your thinking so you can focus on what truly matters, this book is for you. Now, here are my takeaways from the book. First, stop believing you're unique. See, the author believes that self-help books and modern society are overly obsessed with the idea that we are all unique. Now, this idea has created a society of entitled people who expect everything to go right for them all the time, like children who believe that they deserve that toy and when they can't get it, they sulk and cry. Now, entitlement is feeling as though you deserve to be happy without actually sacrificing for it. He describes two types of entitlement. The first one is like this: I'm awesome, and the rest of you all suck, so I deserve special treatment. And then the other one is like this: I suck, and the rest of you are all awesome, and so I deserve special treatment. Now, Mason, the author, calls both of these narcissism. People in either situations are deluded about where they lie in the social hierarchy, and they think everything should be catered to benefit them. They are completely self-absorbed. They feel as though their problems deserve to be treated differently. Mason believes this kind of thinking has created a society that does not accept reality. They kind of live in their own utopia. And the issue with not accepting reality is that people no longer use their reality as a stepping stone towards success. Mason's advice, and this is going to sting a little, but hear me out. Don't feel special. Don't feel unique. Redefine yourself in common and broad ways. Measure yourself by more mundane identities like you're a student, you're a partner, you're a friend, you're a teacher. Define yourself in the simplest and most ordinary way possible. This means giving up your sense of entitlement and your belief that the world owes you something, that you deserve special treatment. And when you do that, in the beginning it will suck a little, but you feel better about yourself, you become less disappointed, and you become happier. Secondly, focus only on the important things in life. Now, we live in an era of opportunity, an era of information, an era of possibilities. So one wonders how it is possible that we can be so stressed and unfulfilled. Most of us struggle throughout our lives because we are trying to do everything to please everybody. We concern ourselves too much about what others think of us. We get anxious about too many mundane stuff. We have a fear of missing out, and we spread ourselves too thin by trying to be, trying to do, or trying to have everything. In the end, we become generally unhappy and we achieve very little. See, life is always going to be a struggle. There are no two ways about that. But the thing is, how much of a struggle you make it is up to you. You need to find out what you want in life and focus only on that. Do not allow the vague and mundane stuff to weigh you down in your strive for success. What I'm talking about here is essentially learning how to focus and prioritize your thoughts effectively. Learn how to pick and choose what matters to you and what does not matter to you based on your personal values. Find something that you like doing that truly makes you happy. Now, that thing is worth your struggle. And while you say yes to the things that are self-fulfilling, you have to be ruthless to say no to everything else that does not make you happy. Everything else that do not create value in your life. And finally, take full responsibility for your life. See, it's easy to shy away from why our life isn't how we want it by putting the blame on other people and circumstances. I had a rough childhood, my family is not rich, my partner left me, I wasn't given the promotion, and other such excuses. Now in the book, the author urges that we stop playing the victim game and take 100% responsibility for our lives. As an example of the importance of taking responsibility, he talks about the American psychologist William James. In 1872, William James's life was falling apart. James considered taking his own life. However, as a result of reading a lecture by the philosopher Charles Peirce, he decided to conduct an experiment. Now, in the experiment, James would spend 1 year taking full responsibility for all the negative things happening in his life. If after 12 months his life did not improve, he would take his life. Now, James's experiment worked, and James called his emphasis on taking responsibility his rebirth. In the years that followed, he became a highly influential psychologist and philosopher. Today, he is recognized as one of the most famous psychologists ever to have lived. The decision to take responsibility for his problems allowed James to direct his energies to improving his life. He then improved millions of other people's lives. When you take responsibility for a problem, you take responsibility for how that problem makes you feel. Now, I must say that without doubt, I was fascinated by the book, and I believe anyone who is ready to make changes in their life should read it. I'd like to dedicate the rest of the video to some great quotes from the book. Who you are is defined by what you're willing to struggle for. You and everyone you know are going to be dead soon. And in a short amount of time between here and there, you have a limited amount of fucks to give. Very few, in fact. And if you go around giving a fuck about everything and everyone without conscious thought or choice, well, then you're going to get fucked. Life is essentially an endless series of problems. The solution to one problem is merely the creation of another. To be happy, we need something to solve. Happiness is therefore a form of action. This is the most single and basic component of life. Our struggles determine our successes. Don't just sit there. Do something. The answers will follow. There is a simple realization from which all personal improvement and growth emerges. This is a realization that we, individually, are responsible for everything that happens in our lives, no matter the external circumstances. We don't always control what happens to us, but we always control how we interpret what happens to us, as well as how we respond. Whether we consciously recognize it or not, we are always responsible for our experiences. It's impossible not to be. Choosing to not consciously interpret events in our lives is still an interpretation of the events of our lives. In my life, I have given a fuck about many people and many things. I have also not given a fuck about many people and many things. And like the road not taken, it was the fucks not given that made all the difference. Being open with your insecurities paradoxically makes you more confident and charismatic around others. The pain of honest confrontation is what generates the greatest trust and respect in your relationships. Suffering through your fears and anxieties is what allows you to build courage and perseverance. We suffer for the simple reason that suffering is biologically useful. It is nature's preferred agent for inspiring change. We have evolved to always live with a certain degree of dissatisfaction and insecurity, because it's the mildly dissatisfied and insecure creature that's going to do the most work to innovate and survive. If you want to change how you see your problems, you have to change what you value and or how you measure your failure or successes. Being wrong opens up the possibility of change. Being wrong brings the opportunity for growth. The desire for more positive experience is itself a negative experience, and paradoxically, the acceptance of one's negative experience is itself a positive experience. If you're stuck on a problem, don't sit there and think about it. Just start working on it. Even if you don't know what you're doing, the simple act of working on it will eventually cause the right ideas to show up in your head. There's no value in suffering when it's done without purpose. People who feel entitled view every occurrence in their life as either an affirmation of or a threat to their own greatness. The rare people who do become truly exceptional at something do so not because they believe they're exceptional. On the contrary, they become amazing because they are obsessed with improvement. And that obsession stems from an erring belief that they are in fact not great at all. Everything we think and feel about a situation ultimately comes back to how valuable we perceive it to be. When we force ourselves to stay positive at all times, we deny the existence of life's problems. And when we deny our problems, we rob ourselves of the chances to solve them and generate happiness. Often, the only difference between the problem being painful or powerful is a sense that we chose it and that we are responsible for it. Nobody is ever responsible for your unhappiness but you. The man who believes that he knows everything learns nothing. Improvement at anything is based on thousands of tiny failures, and the magnitude of your success is based on how many times you failed at something. We can be truly successful only at something we are willing to fail at. Commitment allows you to focus intensely on a few highly important goals and achieve a greater degree of success than you otherwise would. Alright guys, it is all time while I was in this video. Like I said, I'll be leaving a link to the book in the description. Click on it, go to the blog and then download it for yourself. You'll be doing yourself a big service reading that book. Alright, if you've not subscribed yet, kindly do so, and please give the video a like if you have not also done so yet. My name is Tete. I'll see you in the next video. But until then, you keep reading and keep changing your world, one book at a time.
Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. Trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray. I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.